Hey, clap it up. Saying, we're gonna get right into it. Questions. I know the Bible very well. I can. I know the Bible very, very well. No questions?
Come. Stop.
Okay, sir.
I'm waiting for mine. Pull up. What?
And I get a breakdown of Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 14. Pull that up.
Nehemiah what?
Chapter 5, verse 14. Because I ended up reading the whole book of Nehemiah and Ezra, but I wanted to get a breakdown for clarity because a while back, Kashak was teaching somebody and somebody jumped in the chat trying to sit there and say that.
Chapter 4, verse 13.
That's where you're going to go?
That's what you said.
No, chapter 5, verse 14.
14.
And the person in the chat was trying to sit there and say, oh, Israelites sold other Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
And then he going to sit there and say in Nehemiah and Ezra. I sat there after class, I read Nehemiah and I read Ezra. I didn't see nothing in there about Israelites selling other Israelites. But they was talking about repairing the gates and brothers coming together to repair the gates that was destroyed. And it was breaking down the generation.
Say again?
I
heard what you said that they said. What are you saying right now?
What I'm saying is what I read, it didn't see anything about Israel.
They're using this scripture to say that we sold each other.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year, even unto the 32nd year of Artaxerxes.
So from the 12th year to the 32nd year,
yeah, of Artaxerxes, the king, is
Artaxerxes.
Okay, that's it. Artaxerxes, the king, that is 12 years. I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor. Verse 15. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people and had taken of them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bear rule over the people. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall. Neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, besides those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us.
Okay, stop. They use this to say we sold each other, right? Okay. Good.
Now, which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and 1 and 10 days store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my God, for God, according to all that I have done for this people. Oh, Salakia, for good, according to all that I have done for this people.
I read 18 again.
Colonel Khan. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me.
Let this sink in your head, right? Where it says back in 14, Artaxerxes was the king who was not our people. That's a Persian, right? Artaxerxes, who was not our people, who was king at this time, and he was set as governor. He was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, Nehemiah. So imagine if, what's the guy name? Phil Murphy. Imagine if Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, was instead a Judite who was in the school. A Judite inside the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That's the position that Nehemiah held.
Okay.
Read on. Read on. It's like from where I was at. I was going to say read on. If you read on it, it says, I and my brother have not eaten the bread of the governor, and the former governors that have been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, right? Beside 40 shekels of silver, yea, even their servants bear rule over the people, but so did not I, because of the fear of God. Meaning, the former Judites that were set up over these people,
Right,
were treating them like servants instead of like their brothers and sisters.
okay.
You understand? Treat them like servants to their brothers and sisters. Yet not did I do that. I didn't do that. They did that. All of the former governors did that, but I did not do that because I fear the Lord and I fear what He do to me if I treated His people as my personal slaves. You understand? For why? And I fear the Lord that He would treat me disgustingly. He would treat me basely, unfairly. No. It would be fair. He would treat me horribly. He would do horrible things to me if I took my own people as slaves.
Okay.
So I didn't do what the former governors did. Yea, also I continued to work this wall. Neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Right? He's saying there's 150 people at his table, and every day he had an ox and 6 sheep prepared so that everybody can eat. So 150 people can eat. He killed an ox and 6 sheep every day, and fowls. Obviously, him being somebody who feared the Lord, he killed clean fowls. What are some clean fowls?
Pigeons, which are the original turtle dozen.
What else? Chickens, turkeys. Right? He killed these clean fowls. These clean fowls, he killed them, right? And made sure everybody else ate. And once in 10 days, it's like also fowls prepared for me. And once in 10 days, store once in 10 days store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon his people. Think upon me, my Lord, for good, according to all this that I've done for this people. Where does it say anything about slavery? He said, I am not taking slaves like the former governors. And where does this say that we sold each other? Now, if he's going to say, well, the former governors did it. The former governor, was he trying to say that this was talking about the what do they call it? The transatlantic slave trade? Is he saying that this was talking about the transatlantic slave trade?
I think that's what he misinterpreted from it. Okay. I think that's what he had misinterpreted from it at the time.
Okay. This is not.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, this is not the transatlantic slave trade. Pull that precept for me, please, in Timothy's. And Peter's where it says, Paul's writings. This is perfect. Paul's writings is not to your own understanding. Okay. And Paul was not the man who came to save the Gentiles. Paul was one of another many prophets inside the Bible who said, I'm going to do what every other prophet did. I'm not going to contradict them. I'm not sent to come save the Gentiles. I'm simply Paul. I'm not somebody the Lord said, I'm going to give you a different mission than every other priest and prophet I've ever raised up. That was not Paul's job.
He said Paul's writing.
It's in Peter, where it says Paul's writings are not left up to your own interpretation. There's one interpretation of those writings. It's like, you know what? I'm mixing my breakdown with the scripture. Where it's, the scripture where it says the scriptures are not unto your own interpretation.
Yeah.
I was mixing my own breakdown with that. This scripture does not say nothing like that. You understand? You understand? This scripture doesn't say nothing about the transatlantic slave trade. The former governors treated the people like slaves. You want an example? Who's the mayor of Jersey City? You gotta know that. Jersey City. I'm just saying, in the future. You gotta know that you live in Jersey City. If you talk to people in Jersey City, you need to be able to point a finger, especially if they're Israelites. Because y'all think everything else, if blacks get into politics, oh, if only we put suits on. Oh, if only we served Christmas and all of that, we would be better. You understand? We would be better. That's what people think. You need to know who your mayor is so you could say, don't they have such and such in charge? Is anything better? You understand? Cory Booker was involved. He's a black man?
Stephen Phillip?
You gotta get pictures. Click images. All we gotta do is click an image.
He's an oppressor. Oh no, he's the ones that pretend to be us.
Okay, good night. You need to know that even more.
He started to
reject. You should know that even more. There's a man pretending to be your people, pretending to be you.
Right.
That is lording over the city of the Jersey City, who is not doing anything for you. According to Kashak and Kashak stores, these blocks been terrible for 30 years plus. And you have somebody pretending, somebody holding your Bible saying, he's an Ashkenazi Jew. He's holding your Bible saying, I have the answers, but your block is disgusting for 30 years. It says since 2013 right there. God. Your block has been disgusting for a decade, but he's in charge with the Bible. You couldn't put the UPK in charge for a decade. You know why? There'd be no problems.
God.
Right.
There'd be no problems. He's in charge, and there's just a ton of problems. And nobody's sitting there saying, well, why do we keep putting white people, why do we keep putting the oppressor in office? Why do we keep putting Ashkenazi men in office? False Jewish men in office? Everybody hold down. Everybody hold it down. Kashak dead. He's still out. Kashak dead. That's my sorry.
Oh, Slaki, if I may. You know what's the crazy part, sir? If I may, it's crazy for us, right? It's crazy for us that the blocks are still messed up. But you know what he did do? He passed all the laws for his people to get all the buildings, all the housing, all the funding, right, for their buildings.
Tell the people what I told you about the end of 2022. Do you remember what I told you? About what he did in the city and how it impacted the world? He made Jersey, the country. He made Jersey City the most expensive country.
Oh, yeah,
most expensive city to live in the United States was Jersey City, either the United States or New Jersey. Either or is bad because there's hundreds of cities in New Jersey and thousands of cities in the United States.
Right.
So either or is terrible.
Right.
But he made Jersey City one of the most expensive cities for you to live in, knowing damn well that you have blocks like the one we're on. Mm-hmm. You have all these other blocks in the city that are terrible. But he made it the most expensive city to live in. Mm-hmm. To do what? To drive out the black people. Either get out or everybody condense on these 15 blocks. Everybody condense in these two neighborhoods. Stay here while I make downtown and by the mall and over here and over there. While I make that glorious. You stay over there unless you're spending money in there. Right. You stay over there. Right. You have to know who your mayors are so you can talk to people and say that's the bad guy. Right. You heard that saying? I'm the bad guy. You need me so you can point to me and say that's the bad guy. Right. We need to expose people to Stephen Phillip so we can say that's the bad guy. Not me. Not that brother on the corner selling crack. He's led by the bad guy. Right. He's led by the bad guy. He's the bad guy. You need to point people. You'll never have men come inside the truth if you can't point the finger at people and say, that's the bad guy. You know why? Because people gangbang because they need a bad guy. As a black man, you need a bad guy. When the Lord exterminates your oppressor, you still need to be able to go to the museum and look at his wax sculptures and say, that's the bad guy. You understand? Wow. He was here this entire time to enslave us. That's the bad guy. and all the things we did that made the Lord put the bad guy over us, never do it again.
Right.
When you have your great grandchildren, or when you pass and come back to life, and you say, you should be able to say, that's the bad guy. You understand?
Right.
Right.
You have to show your children, we were doing XYZ, and the Lord put him over us. Do you want somebody like him over us again? When the Lord exterminates your oppressor, do you want him to make the Indians your oppressor? Do you want him to turn the Africans into the oppressor? Do you want him to turn the Chinese into your oppressor? So never do it again. Never do it again. When you're showing your great-grandchildren a sculpture of your oppressor in the museum, say, we did XYZ and that beast was over us. You know, you go to the museum and you got the tablet, the description of what you're looking at. That tablet is going to say all types of unsavory things about your oppressor. All types of unsavory things. When you have your great-grandchild read that, or when you are pass and come back in the kingdom, and somebody is having you read that, or you grow up and you having your seed then read that, you can tell them, never do that again. Never do that.
Right.
Do not do that. If you do that, you see that beast that you're reading about, that you got your eyes wide about, he'll come back. He'll do whatever the hell he wants. He'll come back. But he'll turn the Africans into the sword. You understand? Or the Chinese or the Indians into the sword. You understand that?
All right.
It's very important for you to know who your mayors are. When Ross Baraka was the mayor, I watched him closely, which is how I know he's a homo gay. That's my new word.
Oh.
Y'all don't know that. Homo gay. YouTube, catch that one. Homo gay? Homo gay.
What's a homo?
I blended two words.
Catch
Split them in half and understand them. Homo gay.
Mm.
I blended two words. Catch that one. Catch that one. I knew he was a homo gay. When he had that fake relationship with Dario Rawson, I think her name was, or Rawson Dario, or something like that. Beautiful sister, beautiful. I think Puerto Rican. Beautiful Puerto Rican sister. Beautiful. She was 25. You know, she got. So I'm gonna throw it in a yacht, a shot. They like that. She dealt with him, and he was trying to pass it off as, this is how I'm not homo gay. This is how I'm not. See, I'm with Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
I'm with Rosario Dawson. I looked at him and I said, he's a homo gay. And I knew he would never do nothing positive for black people from that moment forth, which is why you have to know your mayors. You have to know your mayors. When Ross Baraka got in charge, now he's doing a lot for the city of North. He ain't gonna stand on his name. I think he's Muslim. He doing a lot for the city of North. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Don't slip. Because if you slip, you point the finger.
Right.
I'm gonna say, that's the bad guy.
Right.
Him.
Right.
Him. Understand? Nook had lead levels higher than Flint. He told the people it was going to take 2 years to get on top of it. I think he did it in less than 2 years. That's what you should do.
Right.
You have to do that because babies die from lead in your water.
Right.
So you have to do things like that. You have to know your mayors. You have to know. Then I got to know your state senators. I keep guns. I like guns. I keep guns. I love guns. I keep guns.
God.
So you know what I had to do?
Yeah.
I had to go on YouTube and look up a cat who was reporting on New Jersey laws regarding guns to know whether or not, can I keep mine in the vehicle? Can I keep mine here? Can I do this? How much ammo can I keep? Can I do this? Can I do that?
Right.
I had to learn about what's going on in my state so that they don't let me keep a weapon like they did prior to the summer of 2022. Can point the finger and say, that's the bad guy. He don't want you to protect yourself.
Right.
He want to put you in the ghetto, have you sell crack, and then have him sell crack. And now y'all competing to sell crack. And now y'all at odds, and then tell you, the civilian in the middle, that you can't keep going to protect yourself while bullets is flying through your projects.
Right.
I can point the finger and say, the U.S. government is the bad guy.
Right.
You need to know who is on top of you so you can say, that's the bad guy. That's how you get men to say, yo, man, I'm actually Kit Kats, they want something.
Right.
They want something. I don't know. I don't know about all that other stuff. But I like guns. I like guns. I know that. That's how you get them right there. That's how you get them. You always get somebody with one thing. One thing. I don't know all the else they're talking about, but I like guns.
Right.
I don't know what else they're talking about, but I'm tired of my baby mama.
Right.
I don't know what else they're talking about with the Christian church. They've been taxing me.
Right.
You get them with one thing, and then they come in here and change their whole life. So please know who is in charge of your city and know what they are doing to your people. Know who's in charge of your state and know what they're doing to your people, because we're training to take this spot.
Right.
We're training so that, what's his name?
Yeah, Philip.
Yeah, Steve Phillip.
Stephen Phillip is not the mayor of Jersey City. It's Kashaka. You understand?
Right.
This is what we're training for. We're training for. So Kashaka was the mayor of Jersey City. Ayash is his councilman. You understand? This is what we're training for. You know who the hell is Stephen Phillip? Who's
Right.
He does things to benefit people who look like Stephen Phillip. I don't look like Stephen Phillip, so am I going to benefit? Hell no. So why the hell would I be listening and not knowing? Why would I listen to him and agree with him? Or worse, why would I not know who he is? I have to know who he is. I have to.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I got to. Because you are doing things that I can point out and get my men to rally behind. So I can get people to put flags down, put drugs down, put all types of unsavoriness down, and come and follow Christ.
Right.
And I can get them to war up. I can get them to boot up, army fatigue up. I can get them to come here and put pain in, put work in. Off of pointing out how you're the bad guy.
Right.
I gotta know who you are.
Right.
I have to. You understand?
Tom Carnes.
Thanks a lot,
All right, Mayor Phillip, this is second term.
Right.
He's the one that started the regentrification because,
second or third, because he was here since 2013.
matter of fact, you're right. This is third term. The Ashkenaz, this is third term because the first term, he went up against all the so-called gangbangers in Jersey City.
And he
He
took
said, "I'm not
and
scared
he
of
took
y'all."
and he took them out.
Come one by one. Now, the Edomite that was in office before him was in office for over 20 years. He's got a tavern downtown. Yeah, no, he was in office for a long time, bro. Easy.
Come on, keep talking.
All right. The whole point is that mayor had to deal with certain key players on the streets as far as the street gang and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So basically, he played let's make a deal with the streets, and Mayor Phillip said, "I'm gonna go against that." Okay. Basically, the oppressor at the end of the day is still the devil that the Bible speaks of, because neither one of them did anything to benefit us, but yet to further destroy us.
Let me tell you something that that misguided man. What's that brother's name? He tried to get us to go to Africa. What's that brother's name? Marcus Garvey. Let me tell you something that misguided brother said that had a hint of wisdom to it. You cannot go to your oppressor for freedom.
Right.
You can't. I don't have to mention Marcus Garvey, of course. That's how I do what? That's how I catch the people who are into his garbage. What can I just say? I could just say, commending General YAHANNA said, don't trust your oppressor.
Right.
Of course, you have some nut listening right now who listens to Marcus Garvey.
Right.
Of course. So I'm going to say what Marcus Garvey said. Marcus Garvey said, don't trust your oppressor. You can't go to him for freedom.
Right.
You can't go to him for freedom, huh? Do you understand?
Tom
To bring it back to the pose originally on, that scripture said nothing about slavery. Nothing. It had nothing about slavery. It said that they, the former governors prior to Nehemiah, treated those men like slaves. But it said nothing about the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? Nehemiah is in power when Artaxerxes is in power. That's far off from the Atlantic slave trade, which is the 1500s. 15 and 1600. Well, 15 and on. It's far off. Of course, he's looking for a reason to hate himself. He's looking for a reason to look in the mirror and say, it's all my fault. No, the oppressor didn't do anything to me. It's my fault. He's looking for a reason to walk outside and say, I should hate you. You understand?
Come. I like that precept too. Second Peter.
Hold that. I don't want that right now. That was just in general for my actual topic.
Oh, come.
Yeah.
Slakia, I have a question. Can you give me where in the Apocrypha where it speaks about Alexander the Greek in the Apocrypha? I know I was told that that's where it shows or reveals about Alexander. Do you know exactly what scriptures that speak on Alexander in the Apocrypha?
Let me make sure that I'm not. Okay, what's right? Now, what do you want it for? You just want it?
Khan, I want it for teaching purposes, sir. Because our people believe that the Apocrypha is, some people don't believe that the Apocrypha is part of the Bible, and you tell them line upon line, precept upon precept, and how the Apocrypha coincides exactly with what the Bible says. But I was, speaking with somebody, and I was like, is a breakdown about Alexander. It's a different word I use, but Alexander the Great or the Greek is in the Apocrypha, and it speaks on him, and it shows the timeline of using our oppressors' history, and our history is the truth, though, and showing them that the timeline lines up with us being slaves and so on and so forth, and their whole lineup about Greek and Roman times, how all that lines up with their history, and that the Bible is absolutely correct.
1 second. I'm trying to find this right quick. I haven't actually read that scripture in a while. Let me pull it. Let me find out.
Salaki, sir.
I know it's the opening of one of these books. It's just the opening of one of these books. Some might know. I know it is studying. You got something to say, Mousa?
They come con, sir. I believe it's the first Maccabees, and Maccabees was filling.
I was thinking
Philip
Ezra.
the Macedonian.
I knew it was one of them books that had the multiple books.
Con.
First Maccabees, second Maccabees, first Ezra, second Ezra. It was one of them. All right, so the first one, y'all give me 1 second. Right.
Slakia.
I gotta use the bathroom. So I'm trying to hold it to the end of class. Give me 1 second. Let me use this bathroom. I'll come right back. All right.
Come on, Khan.
1 second. Tomorrow, Slack, you know, so I take those and put those where you put that bag in.
Con.
Any questions? Quickly.
Con, sir.
Can you probably show give me a breakdown on Joel chapter 3 verse 2?
Pull it
Come, sorry.
quickly. Job, what is it?
Joel chapter 3.
Joel?
Joel.
The book of Joel, not the book of Job.
No.
That
Joel chapter 3 verse 2.
quickly.
It's the book of Joel chapter 3 verse 2.
Go ahead.
You're gonna laugh. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Go up a verse.
For behold, in these days, it's like in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into
Who's the all nations?
all the nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Read it again.
I
Read up one and see. This is what we do when you really don't understand something. Try and go up a verse or two and then read down for content quickly.
Okay. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
It's a question. Repeat the question.
My question. We can, if you want to hold off on my question. Yash had his question up. No, that's
Wait, so
come, sir. Yash, you need what?
I'll be careful with these chairs. That leg is kind of big.
Oh no, that one is broke, sir.
Okay, good.
The question was for a breakdown of Joel chapter 3 verse 2.
Okay, let's get it. That's some of one of my chapters. Let's get it.
verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there.
Is this Job or Joel?
Joel.
Okay. Hold on a second. This book is okay. All right. New top.
Come. Verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. I will also gather all.
You said 3 and 1, right?
Chapter 3, verse 2.
I said start from the top.
I started from top of 2, or I went to 1.
Top of 1.
Come. 4. Behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again.
No. Oh, you know what? I believe book flipped to Amos. That's what it is. Forgive me. Hold on a second. You'll never forget to ask, do I can God it either? You heard? Never forget to ask, do I can God it?
Okay, come.
Because you don't know who's with you, if you're by yourself or not. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Come on.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. All Akim Adawan, you have it?
So, come on.
Come on. Y'all need to respond when he says that as well. It makes the point. It makes the point moot.
Come.
If you don't respond when he says it, it makes the point moot or meaningless.
Come.
Good.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations.
Who asked this question?
I did.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's your question in what we about to read?
I wanted a general breakdown on this precept.
A general breakdown.
Because I was asked to break it down and had no knowledge of or understood it all. Yeah. I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
What don't you understand about this? Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East. What don't you understand about this?
Okay,
I want to know exactly where. What would you do? If you want to know exactly where right now, what would you do? Zondervan Bible Dictionary. There's a couple things you'll bring to class that I was raised on, that I will raise you on. Bible, apocryphal, notebook, pen or pencil, Strong's Concordance, Zondervan Bible Dictionary. I'm not of the mind state of I just come to class. Hey, it's me and my phone. If y'all might not know, because back when we had the location, all my books was there. We had a Zondervan, we had a Strong's, we had this, we had that. You're supposed to keep one of those for yourself as well. Those was my personal ones.
Right.
Keep one for yourself, and one's supposed to stay in the school. So anytime somebody say, whoa, Zondervan, Strong's Concordance, you understand? I used to come prepared to class. That's why I used to come with a book bag as every class. Because I had books in there because I was going to school. Read it from the top, verse 2.
I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations.
What don't you understand about this? And
Okay.
pardon my land, Salaki. What don't you understand about this?
The part of them bringing them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat to plead with them, like, okay,
He's going to have all of the nations gather themselves for the Third World War, and they're going to be in the middle of fighting. They're going to be in the middle of fighting. That's what he's saying. I'm going to gather you all to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Okay.
Yeah. No. What other questions you have? Is it?
Okay, and saying, I'm going to plead with them for my people. So you're saying he's going to bring all the nations together to go to war And at that time,
And then he gonna drop down to his knees and go, "Oh, please, don't harm the blacks and Hispanics. Please. Will you please listen to me? Will you please not harm my people? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top and sprinkles and whipped cream." Is he saying that?
no, he's saying,
No, he damn sure ain't not. Let me tell you something. Right? The Lord talks how you talk on these rap tracks.
Right.
That's how the Lord talks. That's how the Lord talks. I'm gonna plead with you. I'm gonna plead with you. What do we say? What you say outside? Somebody wrong you outside. What you say? And it's broad day. Got a cop on the corner. You go, "I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna get with you." What that mean? You know what that means. I'm gonna get with you. And you walk off.
Right.
You walk off. I'm gonna plead with you.
Hey.
Okay. I'm gonna plead with you. Because what does plead mean? Plead mean I'm going to beg you. I'm going to request of you. He's not going to beg you. I'm gonna get with you. We're not about to hang out and play that.
Right.
I'm not about to see you in the corner and that. Next time I see you, you're gonna hear screeching. The tire's gonna be screeching and the window's gonna be dropped. You understand?
Right.
That's pleading. That's pleading. I'm pleading with you.
got it.
The Lord said, "I'm pleading with you." Oh, you wanted to harm my people. Yeah, come to this valley. Yeah, y'all do what y'all do. Come to this valley, Josephat. I'm gonna plead with you. I'm going to show you why you shouldn't have done what you did. You are your father's son.
Mm-hmm.
You just was on the left side.
Right.
You are your father's son. You are a son of the Most High. You just was on the wrong side. Well, if you're a brother listening to this, we're still on the wrong side. You're just on the wrong side. Right. You're your father's son. Somebody do something to you and you go, okay. Smack you. You're your father's son. You understand? Right.
Mhm.
He's saying all these things you're doing right now. What do black people say when they son? What do a black mother say when her son died in the street? Lord, why? Lord, why?
Please.
He hears that. You're just a sinner, so he don't do nothing for you.
Right.
But in the end, when we all come back to the Lord, I remember that little while.
Mhm.
I remember all 595,000 of them. I remember all 942,000 of those Lord whys over the years in America.
Right.
All 4 million and such and such. I remember all those babies who didn't come out the womb yet crying from their soul, crying from their spirit. I remember those Lord whys. I remember how Margaret Sanger said, "Do this to them." I can hear the things you can't hear.
Right.
I heard Margaret Sanger's thoughts. I heard her thoughts saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give black people this one." I heard her speeches. I heard her statements. You understand? I heard these things. I heard them. Let me plead with you right quick. Come here. I'm gonna show you why you should not have done what you did. For years, you gotta remember too. 1,000 years is to the Lord as a day.
Okay.
Right.
So while you probably thinking, "Man, my family been in this city for 50, 60 years, and the men in my family have been dying for 50, 60 years."
Right. Right.
Why you thinking, "Damn, that's a long time." 50, 60 years. If 1,000 years is to the Lord as a day, 100 years is the 10th of a day. That means 50 years is a 20th of a day. A 20th of a day is less than 2 hours. If you've been watching the men in your family die for 50 years, the Lord, it was 2 hours for the Lord. He's sitting here looking. Come here.
So that 400 years, 500 years.
8 hours.
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours. Come here. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. You saw somebody do something to you, and it could be 6 months later. You. To him, it was to him. Your father's dying was a day ago.
Right.
You could have forgotten. That was a day ago to me. That was a day ago. He's going to tell the oppressor and all of his cronies, Cubans, Africans, Chinese, come in. Let me talk to you real quick. Chinese stores in the middle of the hood, right?
Come on.
Fake Gucci all up and down Canal Street, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Arab man and say, making ships for the Africans to put my people on, right? You can go to the Africans and say, rounding up my people, right? Oh, to you, you don't even know what I'm talking about, because to you, that's 500 years ago. It's yesterday. It's yesterday for me. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you real quick. Boom. I'm going to plead with you in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. I'm going to get with you. I'm going to get with you. I'm going to get with you. And you're going to be thinking, I didn't do nothing. That was yesterday to me. All that I ain't do nothing makes sense to you, don't it? It makes sense to you and only you. That's like the Lord revisiting you for something you did 6 months ago. What did I do? I don't understand what I did. That wasn't that long ago for me.
Yeah.
For me, that was 17 minutes. To you, that was 6 months. That's 17 minutes for me. Come here. I just want to talk to you. Let me plead with you. Let me show you why you should not have done what you did. Okay.
If I may, sir, it just reminds me of what Cain did to his brother Abel. And the Lord said, what had, the Lord asked him, what have you done to your brother? He saying his blood is on, his blood. He's crying, something like that. Like he's crying.
Yeah, the blood of Abel was crying because Cain killed him.
And I can hear his.
And he can hear it.
Right.
That baby wasn't born yet. Somehow the Lord heard him.
Right.
So to you, the baby wasn't alive yet, right? To you, right? Because it didn't come out yet. It wasn't alive. Somehow, some way, the Lord heard him. Somehow, some way, the Lord heard him. And because of that, you're getting breast cancer. I'm giving you breast cancer now. Because you thought I couldn't hear him. If I go do something to somebody, the whole world going to condemn me for it because you know he's alive.
Right.
He's grown. You do something to somebody in your womb, you shouldn't get no repercussions because it's not alive. And that makes sense to the soft men of the world.
Right.
No problem. The Lord heard that child. No problem. No problem. I can't contend with you. You're going to say, did it come out yet? Did it make a noise? How did you hear it? You're going to say a whole bunch of things trying to stand behind your oppressor's science. What you going to do? You're going to say about science. Science falsely so-called, like it says in Timothy's. You're going to pull that. Give me Timothy's. Science falsely so-called.
Well, I guess there was a question in the chat.
I see the question in the chat. It's going to get it. The question is going to come.
So that gets Timothy what?
Science falsely so-called. No, what's up?
Yeah, I got a precept to that too.
I need that, what I asked for.
Come on, sir.
That's 1 Timothy 6:20.
Then go ahead and read it then.
For the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed.
Now share this class and all that. Share this class to these whores.
Right.
You are the wedding. And these brothers who claim they love God,
Right.
claim they want to come into the truth and deal with what you deal with. They won't deal with what you deal with, Sean. They won't deal with what you deal with. That's what they're saying. That's what they say.
Right.
They say that out. I don't know. Read it to come.
Come for the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Avoid vain babblings in oppositions of science, falsely so called. I'm going to avoid you talking nonsense.
Right.
And all that science that doesn't agree with the Bible, opposition of science, falsely so called, that ain't science. You know what science?
Right.
Leviticus, wash your butt. That's science.
Right.
I know it's magical to you, right? Oh my God, how is that science? It's science. Washing your butt is not science. It's science. Only eat chickens and turkeys. Don't eat emus and geese.
Hey.
How is that? How is that science? It's science. It's real science for you. You unclean. You can't come to class. How is that? It's science because the Lord said so. It's real science. It's real science.
Right.
But I'm a Sagittarius. That ain't science. That's mystical magic. That's fake. It's mystical magic. Any broad, some days, y'all go sit down with some broad. Y'all trying to take this broad off something nice, treat it nice. I'm gonna get these yams tonight. Yeah. Yeah, so what are you? I'm a Scorpio. I need you to dress like this. Leave the restaurant. You understand? Leave the restaurant because you are not a Scorpio. You're not a Sagittarius. You're not an Aquarius. You're not a Libra.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You're a grown man. That's what you are. You're a grown man. You was born at some point between these 12 months.
Right.
One of these days or one of these 12 months you was born. You're not a Sagittarius. You're not a Scorpio. You're not a Libra. You're none of that. Your identity doesn't match the stars in the sky.
Amen. Shut up.
Falsely so called, science falsely so called. For all of these things, the Lord is going to plead with these nations for convincing our women to have abortions,
Right.
for giving you crack cocaine and gangs. When Freeway Rick Ross was selling these drugs, he didn't even know he was selling it for the CIA, which is how he got out of jail. That's how he got out. I didn't know I was selling for the CIA, and they got him on a what's the damn charge? 3-strike law. They got him on a 3-strike law. He didn't know he didn't know he was selling for the CIA, and they got him on a 3-strike law. But you can't get somebody on a 3-strike law on the same crime, meaning on the same charge. They hit him with the 3-strike law. You did this. That's 3 strikes. You're out. You can't do that on the same charge, which is how he got out. Not because he wasn't guilty. He got out because you can't give me all that time off of this one charge.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
That's how Freeway Rick Ross got out of jail. You gave brothers crack cocaine and said, this going to make your family rich, knowing damn well it was a CIA operation. Yeah, IT going to be on crack, but you going to have money. It's you or auntie, pick. And that's why we so revolutionary out, because community honestly, you ain't got to pick. Right. Go put that damn burger in Burger King in the broiler. Go slide it in the broiler. And have nobody on crack.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, the money ain't that fast. Yeah, the money ain't that large. Go slide the burger in the broiler and don't put nobody's aunt on crack.
Right.
That's right.
But I don't want to work at Burger King. Sounds like you should serve the Lord. Only way you're not going to work at Burger King is if you serve God. That's it. Serve God and destroy the man on top of you. That's it. If you don't destroy him, you're going to sell burgers at Burger King.
Right.
What you're going to do for your whole life, and your son will come behind you and do it. Not me. I'm a CEO. Nice. That's very nice. That's very nice, sir. The 90% of black people are going to push burgers inside of a broiler at Burger King.
Right.
They're going to be at a Walmart behind the cash register. You're going to be in the back of an 18-wheeler unloading it. That's what they're going to. That's what the majority of us are going to do. We're going to drive the trucks transporting the material instead of being the man sitting behind the desk with my foot up, signing papers to make sure you pick up my material. It's fine. You pick up my material. You understand? If you do not destroy the man on top of you, you'll always be on the bottom. Always. And the Lord said, because of the things you did to my people, I'm going to have to plead with you. I got to talk to you for a second. I have to. You understand? I asked you. You understand. That's what the scripture is talking about.
Come, sir.
Y'all in the middle of battling, and y'all think your war is so goddamn important. Oh my God, Russia's coming at Ukraine. Oh my God, Russia ain't trying to want to fight America. Oh my God, America's doing this. Oh my God, they want to launch a missile. Oh my God, Korea said this. While you're doing all that, and when y'all finally start sending troops on the ground and start going crazy, when you're doing all that, the Lord will look and wait, and wait, and wait to the climax of your war, and go, let me talk to you. You done? Y'all done doing what y'all doing? Well, you're not done. I don't care. Let me talk to you. You want to push abortion, right? You want to put mental chains after the physical chains, right?
I forgot.
You thought I couldn't hear. You thought I couldn't hear old boy blood on the ground because he died on the side block. You thought I didn't hear that blood, right? Because he in the side block in the middle of Jersey City. You thought I didn't hear that? I heard it.
Right.
I heard it. And because of that, come here.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's that pull up that you're talking about, the kid that people don't want. That's that pull up from the Most High that people don't really want. Yeah. When the Lord say, come here, listen, let me highlight you. You don't want the Lord to highlight you.
No.
You want the Lord to smile at you. That's what you want.
Right.
You want the Lord to go find out what that is. Like, go ahead. Go. That's go. Pretty sure. Did that affect the internet? No. We're still good. Is the internet in this room?
No, it's well.
Okay. Marvel song.
Common concept. What we was just talking about with Officer Aya's precept, and we was talking about a day to the Lord is like 1,000 years, right? I have a quick, perfect precept to this.
I'm sure you do. Go ahead.
Come on. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 2.
Okay.
Thus say the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, and how he laid wait for him in the way when he came from Egypt.
Y'all don't understand that thing. I remember what you did the last time I was saving my people. I remember what you did. When I was getting away from the Africans, I watched you stand in their way. I remember that. Talk to you. I just want to talk. Unfortunately, he's not Tevin Campbell. I just want to talk. Because Shaki's not going to talk. It's a trap. It's a trick. Run. Run. It's a trick. Unfortunately, you can't run either. Unfortunately, nothing you do will work because you had ample time to stop.
Right.
There's so much time to stop, Aki.
Right.
When people say, "Oh, y'all a group of hate," did the oppressor not have all this damn time to stop? Couldn't he have stopped whenever the hell he felt like it? Couldn't he have said, "You know what? Give me Obadiah 1 and 10." Couldn't he have said, "You know what? God damn it, I shouldn't be acting like this." How the hell could I convince a whole people to abort their children? How the hell could I give a grown man cocaine and tell him that's the only way he gonna eat, knowing how a grown man is gonna react? You tell me your son gonna die unless you push this crack. He ain't gonna have no food in his stomach if you don't go sell crack. Right. You know damn well what a grown man about to go do. You know why? Because the Chinese did it too.
Right.
We ain't gonna give you nothing. Oh yeah? We're selling opium now. Now we're selling opium. He knows what a grown man will do if you tell him your son not gonna eat, fam. He knows exactly what you're gonna do. It wasn't a test. It was premeditated. If we do this, the black people will do this. If the black people do this, we can turn them into this. And then we can start this, and do this, and do this, and do that. He knew what he was doing. Somebody give me Obadiah 1 and 10.
Slack, it's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For what?
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
There was a time where we was fleshly brothers. We was fleshly brothers. We could have been a kin. But you're so nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's so disgusting. You have no love for the father of your father. You have no. That's why it's so disgusting when a grown man talks about how he don't like his father. Suck it up and forgive him. Stop. Quit. My daddy wasn't there. I had a stepdaddy. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Please. Shut up. Please shut up. You have a father whose sack you came forth from. Shut your mouth. Without him, you wouldn't be alive.
Right.
You were swimming around in his sack and he decided to let you out. Shut up.
Right.
Oh, you devil. You could have been our brother. You didn't have to be a devil. You made a choice to be a devil. You made a choice. And you said, screw my father's father. Screw my father's God. That's what you said. And in return, he responded like a man. Your father's God responded like a man, and now you are hurting in your feelings. If y'all read the story of Genesis, of course, Esau was a crybaby. He's a crybaby, just crying because he ain't get no blessings. Crying. Why would daddy bless you? That's not fair. Crying like a punk. When you get pulled over by the cops, you wonder, why you act like a punk? It's me, Genesis. He's a punk from birth. He's a punk from the beginning. He's a punk. That's what he does. You get pulled over by the police, and you go, why are they trying to do this to me? Because he's a punk. You understand? He's a punk. Just like he did in Genesis when he's done crying. What does he do? What did he do in Genesis when he was done crying? Isaac died, and he said, Father.
Oh, slack.
Said he was going to mourn for his father's death and he was going to kill his brother.
He said, Jacob, I'm going to get you. What? What I do? What I do? What the hell? What did I do? See, if my father dies, if my father passes, I'm going to go to my brother and go, hey, it's all right, bro. We got each other, bro. We good, bro. And we going to that funeral and hold it together.
Right.
He went to that funeral and was like, oh, daddy, no. And lost his mind. And said, I'm going to get you forever. Because he blessed you and not me, I'm going to get you forever. It's disgusting. Oh, how you could have been our brother.
Right.
Oh, how you could have been. And you denied it. So the Lord responded like a man and cut you off. You know.
Shame shall come over thee.
Say what?
Shame shall come over thee.
Go ahead.
Shame shall come over thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Oh, you're done. And what's the reason you're going to be cut off forever? Read the first verse. Read the first line.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
You're done. You're done. Oh, you had a chance. Oh, you had a chance. But for your violence against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for your violence against them, for putting Native Indians on reservations, and then we go there and there's nothing but Bud Light and Coors Light on the ground.
Right.
Just drink everywhere. You did that.
Right.
This was their country before you came here. You did that. Oh, because you did that, I have something for you. Come here. I have to talk to you real quick.
Right.
Remember what you did? Remember what's that little song they had to sing in school? Christopher Columbus sailed the blue in 1492. Oh yeah, you gonna sail the blue and make songs and hymns, right? Come here.
God.
It's cute to you. It's cool because you run Earth. You got it right now. You got it. But a day is coming where I'm going to bring you into the valley of Jehoshaphat. I'm going to bring you here.
God.
When I get you there, and you think y'all fighting amongst each other, you're going to look up, there's going to be 200 million UFOs in the sky. Crack in the sky, a trumpet that just blares your ears, and angels you can't even fathom the size of coming to rain on you. And you're going to be sitting here like, was it bullshit worth it? Was all of this worth this? Was it worth this? I'll answer it for you. Was it? But you'll get what you want. You'll get exactly what you asked for because you wanted to know, is it worth it? So the Lord is going to show you what it was worth.
Right, right.
My gosh.
I want to know if this would be a precept for that Obadiah 1 and 10. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Who was that, Nixon or Reagan?
Reagan.
Stood up there talking about some, and if the enemy's in the sky, you'll knock them down. Oh, really? Really, devil? Really? If the enemy's in the sky, you'll knock them down. Right. Okay. Stand on it. You said it, right? Stand on it. Biden, your forefather said it, right? Stand on it. Trump, your forefather said it, right? Stand on it. DeSantis, your forefather said it, right? Stand on it. Philip, your forefather said it, right? So stand on it. If you are a devil, don't come make amends now. The ISUPK is in play now. It's too late.
Right.
We don't need you to make amends. We don't need you. We don't need you. You had your opportunity. And you said no. You said no. Our father died, and you said, oh. And you looked at us with an evil eye. And said, I'm going to get you for eternity. That was your opportunity, and you blew it. You blew it. Maybe you wouldn't be, getting extinguished forever. Maybe you'd be like the African, just subservient to us. But you blew it. So now look at you. On the verge of getting exterminated, and now you're scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
You're scrambling and scrambling and scrambling. Continue your World War III.
Mm-hmm.
Continue. Keep pushing propaganda out about Ukraine and Russia and China. I know Russia's doing the same about you in their country. I know China's doing the same about you in their country. I know. Y'all keep pushing that propaganda. Keep talking. Keep talking. Please continue. Keep going. Keep going. Go, go, go. Because you're going to keep running. And the Lord is going to grab you by your chest and say, hold on a second, bro. Stop. I got to talk to you. You understand?
Come.
You're going to stop him and say, I need to talk to you for a second. Come here. Come here. You running. Big old hand is going to come. Right in your chest. You let your father punch you in your chest. Hold on for a second. Remember that? Remember what you said on TV? What you said?
Right.
You said abortion is a choice? Something like that, right? You said something like that. I don't remember that. I'm sure you don't. You said something like that, right? Hold this. Hold that. You understand?
Oh, God.
Hold this. While you in a chariot somewhere, nukes is flying across the globe. Hold that. You understand?
Come.
Hold that. While you are taking over the globe, running and gaining superpowers, like Joel said, and leaping so high you can hop the Great Wall of China because you're leaping so goddamn high. Abortion, right? Okay. About 2,000 men hopping the wall right now. You hold that. Whole land. Understand?
Okay. So I just want to know if this connects with what you're saying. In Genesis chapter 7, verse 21, and all flesh died that move upon the earth, both fowl and of cattle and of beasts and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man.
No, I think that's referring to the flood, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yeah.
As if
everything ain't going to, no, everything won't pass again. The Lord said he'd never do that again. Well, he said he'd never destroy the earth by water again. That's what he said. I'll never do this again by water. But I might do it to you by fire.
Sir.
A couple missiles might go in the air. They might land. And they might set a lot on fire. I don't know. I don't know. But y'all gonna hold something.
Right.
You understand?
Come on.
I don't know it's gonna be 5 of them. I don't know if it's gonna be 11. I know it's gonna be 26. I don't know how many nukes I'm gonna let go. But you're gonna hold something. Something coming your way. And all that pro-abortion talk, all that feminist talk, all that after gangbangers, we don't care about the black man. You sisters running your goddamn mouth. Don't get caught up in America. Do not get caught up in the crossfire. You said a white man had his warning. It's your warning.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
You better stop.
Right.
Things go in that air and that man just disappear out your house. You be looking like, where the hell we go?
Shut up.
And them things is in the air. Them things dropping. You don't want to be left behind. Careful. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Bears have killed children for less. Watch your mouth. All right? Ayash. One more. I'm done with this.
Oh, no.
You understand that?
Kind of, I get that.
Any more questions?
I just had a
Lucky, yes.
I don't need more precepts.
This is a question online. Thomas Morrell said,
Yeah, let him read the question.
Lucky, sir.
Read the question.
Young man Thomas said, how is it proven that King James was actually black?
How is it proven that King James is actually black? You have pictures of King James being black. The portrait before was white. The main evidence is the portrait, Thomas, before it was whitewashed.
Right.
The portrait of King James came prior to the Renaissance period of Europe. And then during the Renaissance period, they whitewashed the painting of King James, which is where you see Cupid depicted as a white baby. You see King James depicted as a white man. All the kings during the so-called Dark Ages depicted as white people. When in reality, if you go back and look at those pictures before they were whitewashed, in a book called The Russian Icons, they're black. If you go in the Vatican, for some reason, Mary's black. For some reason, baby Jesus is black. For some reason. Some odd reason, you know, maybe the Pope just like black people.
Right.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. The main evidence is the pictures before devils got in power.
Right.
That's the main evidence. There's other textual evidence, meaning written evidence, that King James hired Hebrew scholars, men of his own kind, to translate the Bible from ancient Hebrew to modern English. All of these point to him being a black man or a so-called black man, otherwise known as an Israelite. All right? And they calling you, whoever this is, they're calling you young man. I ain't got no check-in text from no young man Thomas. I don't see it. I'm scrolling. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Certainly.
And I actually
Come
couple questions.
The scripture that I was asking for was Malasar gave it to me, was First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 40, around 40.
You know Alexander the Great, right?
Come on,
That's your question.
my question was about the history of proving the history with Alexander the Great speaking in the scriptures. I wanted to prove that because I know he's in the scriptures in Apocrypha. I just didn't know
You just
where.
wanted to know where he was at.
Right, so for teacher
Okay,
purposes.
so he told you where he's at. He's in First Maccabees, right?
All right, come on, sir.
Okay. Any more questions?
Yes, I do. Let me see.
Sure.
Come
It's
on.
my third week I haven't been here, so come on.
Okay. Book of Judith 5 and 20, so I can say. 20 and 21, if I'm not mistaken, sir. I'm just trying to get to it. Uh, 5, 20, and 21.
Come on, Judith.
I
What's
have
your question?
my question is just a brief understanding of this.
We started at 5 and 18.
5 and 18. Come on, Khan. This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed, and many battles.
5 and 17.
5 and 17. Come
Yep.
on. The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 17.
Yep.
And whilst they sinned not before their God, they propose because the God that have in Slakia, huh?
That hateth iniquity.
Slakia. They prospered because the God that hated iniquity was with them. 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed, and many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
So you just want to break down in general.
Right. I just want to I want to understanding of the time period of this and yeah, or is it go down
This
to
is
21.
a Japanese man. This is a Japanese man.
Right.
Talking to King Xerxes, I want to say. Give me a second.
This is not our people.
Holofernes. Holofernes, I'm gonna read one. Just let me read it. 5 and 1. Then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and laid impediments in the Champagne countries. Right. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the seacoast. And he said unto them, tell me now, you sons of Canaan. Right? So he's the one that's talking. This is Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur. Somebody give me the Zondervan Bible Dictionary of what am I looking for?
Of the name you
You
just
should
said.
learn how to read. Try skill y'all gonna learn over time. That's how to read the teacher's mind. What I'm looking for. Who is Ashur? ASSUR.
ASS.
The double S is sh. Ashur.
I have it, sir. I just that's too small for me to read. I need a larger print one.
Ashur, the god of the Assyrians. So who was he in charge of? Who was in charge of us?
The Syrians.
The Assyrians. The Assyrians?
Syrians are the
Assyrian.
Syrians is
Look at Assyria.
they're the East Indians, right?
Nah.
Look at Assyria. You gotta guess.
I got some.
You have the Syrians.
Yeah.
Asher. Something like that. Sure.
No. ASS.
HUR.
Assyrians. ASSYRIANS.
Yes. Con.
RIANS. Assyrians or Assyrian or Syria.
Ayash. You have it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 31. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrians be beaten down with smoke with the rod.
I don't think it's in a small one, sir, in a compact. ASS.
Do me a favor, I can. A large.
Oh, yes, it is Salakia. It's right here, sir. Assyria.
They derive from the city of
Yeah.
Asher.
One person talking at a time. Yeah.
It's Assyria. It says originally a land between the upper Tigris and no, it's the Z. Right there.
And Zab rivers. First mentioned in the Bible in Genesis. On the Shalamans of the third, the Assyrians turned toward Palestine and were defeated at Kakar. Assyrian. Right? Like, hold on, I'm scared. Assyrians are a people unto themselves. I was trying to see if they had the modern, what do you call them today? That's what I'm looking to see.
I don't think it's in the compact,
I
sir.
don't think it is.
Because
Asher. Assyria was a major ancient Mesopotamian civilization which existed as a city-state from the 21st century BC.
That's the city.
To the
That's
14th
the city. That's the city. Syrians.
That's the capital.
The Syrian Empire, right? Let me get off track. Where was we at? Let me not get off track. Where we at?
you saying that we was ruled over by the Assyrians.
So we were ruled over by the Assyrians at the time, right? Somebody read on the original scripture we was in.
Khan.
Judas 5 and what?
We had 5 in the end of the beginning of 19, sir.
Okay, so we're being ruled over by the Assyrians.
Salakia 18.
Mm-hmm.
But when they departed from which way he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
Very sore, meaning when we left the laws and the guidance of the Most High, we were killed very easily. We were defeated in battle very easily. You understand?
Colonel Khan.
Very easily we were destroyed in battle because we didn't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is a Japanese man giving information back to an Assyrian man, the Assyrian king who was over us at the time. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan. And were led captive into a land that was not theirs.
It was led captive into a land that was not theirs. And then every time we disobey the Lord, we go into slavery.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the temple of their God was cast to the ground.
And the temple was destroyed. Good.
And their cities were taken by the enemies.
And we lost all our cities. Good.
Verse 19.
That's why we live in Jersey City where people like full up on top of us.
Right.
Good.
Verse 19. But now are they returned to their God
But right now, they're following their Lord. Okay?
and are come up from the place where they were scattered.
And they'll come up, they're all together now. Okay?
And have possessed Jerusalem,
And we all dwell in Jerusalem now. Okay?
where their sanctuary is,
Their sanctuary is. Okay?
and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, I understand it now. I understand now. If there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
If these people are sinning,
I get it.
attack them.
I get it. I get
Go against them and attack them.
it.
Read on.
Khan, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
And let us go up, and we'll destroy them if they are sinning.
Right. 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
But if nobody is sinning, good.
let my Lord now pass by.
Be careful. Pass over. Go to somebody else. Don't think about them. Go to somebody else. Good.
Lest their Lord defend them.
Please what?
Lest their Lord defend them.
If you only stop smoking weed, Philip wouldn't be in charge of Jersey City. If you can just stop smoking weed, stop popping pills, just stop, your enemy wouldn't be on top of you.
Right.
Stop selling guns, buying guns illegally, shooting at people, gang banging, selling drugs, dancing on the stripper pole, having multiple baby daddies, bouncing around from man to man, throwing women away. If you can stop doing these things, get out of the church, get out of the mosque, stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, all the various things I just said, if you would stop, your enemy would be destroyed who was on top of you.
Right.
And you would be on top.
Right.
You'll be on top. But as long as you sin, you'll never be on top.
Right.
You'll always be, oh, why me? Oh, Lord, why my son? Oh, Lord, why my daughter? Why do I have to be a single mother? Why can't I see my kids? Why do I have to pay child support? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? It'll always be you if you don't serve God.
Right.
If you do serve God, even the heathens know. Don't mess with them.
Facts.
Which is why the whole goal is make them harm one another.
Right.
Make them sin against one another. Make them go against the Bible and go against their God. Make them follow us. That's why your boss says, I'll never forget this. At 17, I got offered a job, $70,000 a year. Coming straight from the streets into the troop, offered a job, $70,000 a year, suit and tie. Considered it. She said, only thing is, we're a family here, and just come to the Christmas parties, and come to the this and come to that, and do this and do that. I said, I'll get back to you. I didn't get back to her. Because you want me to compromise myself for $1. You want me to compromise myself and have the Lord turn his back on me.
Right.
So that I can be well off.
Right.
$70,000 in 2015 is more than now. It's more than now.
Right.
It's like 6 figures now. 70,000 back then is 6 figures now.
Back then,
Yeah. At 17 too.
Yeah.
But by 21, I've been over everybody. You understand?
I'll see that. Right.
They wanted me to go and do that, and I said no because my God would destroy me.
Right.
He wouldn't be with me. There's so many small instances. I remember the Lord being with me while I was poor. On my way to job interviews, getting the train with no money. I had money for one way on the train. I didn't know how I was going to get back. You know what happened on the way there? Got your ticket. I'm going to take it. Matter of fact, I said, I forgot to buy a ticket. I got the cash on me, though. Can I get the cash? So you give me cash, go buy a ticket on the train. I said, okay, I'll be right here. She left and never came back. I stopped. Mr. Caucus came. I got off the train. I got back on the train on the way back from the interview. He said, different lady said, I have a ticket. I pay at the booth this time. I have a ticket. I have a ticket. That's the ticket. Go. That's all I had.
The Lord
It was like $6.75 or something like that. That's all I had.
good night.
That's all I had. You understand?
God, the Lord was with you, sir.
Gave it that and got back. Didn't get the job, but the point was, I was trying to go get a job. And I know damn well I had enough money that I borrowed because I was trying not to go be a heathen.
Right.
So I got enough money to get the hell there, and I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get back. He's gonna try to get a job, trying to go harm somebody's aunt. And she never came back. And I got off that train in Secaucus. I said, that's the Lord. And I kept it trucking to that goddamn interview. You understand? Never betray your God in favor of your enemy, because your enemy knows the day he listens to his father, the day he obeys his God, is the day I cannot rule over him.
Can I finish the verse, sir?
Okay?
Con. The book of Judith, chapter 21, middle of the verse.
Chapter 5.
Slack, chapter 25, verse 21.
Chapter 5, verse 20. You said 25.
Slack, chapter 5, verse 21. Let's take it from the top, sir.
Chapter
But
21.
Come on, the top of 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord pass by.
If there be no iniquity in that nation, pass by it. Okay?
Lest their Lord defend them,
Mhm.
and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
And we become a reproach. If we go against the people of God, we'll be laughed at by the entire earth.
Right.
Which is what I said earlier, Aki. One day your oppressor will be in a museum,
Right.
in a wax museum, because he won't be here on earth no more.
That's right.
And we'll make figurines of him. And your children will pull and say, is this the man who ruled over you? Such a weak and feeble and suckerish man. And you have to explain to your children, that is the type of man that can rule over you if you discard your God.
Right.
A man who you look at like he is nothing. Who is this? He's nothing. Will rule over you if you choose sin over the Lord.
Right.
And you'll be angry 24/7 because you know I should be the mayor. Me. I know exactly how to give everybody water. I know who need water. I know who need medicine. I know who need help. I know exactly who.
Right.
I know how to get it to them. I got a plan in my head that's way better than what Philip is putting together.
Right.
And I can't do nothing with it because we sinned against the Lord. Follow God. And Philip will never be in charge again.
Right.
He won't even exist. Philip won't even exist.
Come.
Won't be here. He'll be a figurine in a museum, and the children will point and laugh and say, I can't believe we were servants there. I can't believe it. Ayash.
I want to get a breakdown on the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1.
Ezra 9 and 1. Come.
I just want to bring out scripture if I may.
Yeah.
From the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Read it again.
Come from the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, and made no account of his labor.
One day, you'll stand in front of that devil with great boldness, with your sword in your hand, before you swing it, with no account of your labor, while he's there about to pass. You were my slave. You can't do this to me. Slave? Me? I don't recall.
Right?
God.
Tring.
I don't recall.
Sure.
You understand?
God.
I don't remember that label.
Yo.
Me?
Right.
You were my employee. I was the manager. Me? At McDonald's? Don't recall.
God.
You understand? And you'll do with boldness. Right now, you can't do nothing with boldness. You can do nothing with boldness if you are in the world. You can do nothing. You just sit there and go, gotta put my ID tag on. Mike, are you here? Yes. I'm here. I couldn't deal with talking like that to people. I couldn't deal with sighing and huffing and puffing to my enemy. I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with it. You understand? I couldn't. You can have that life now, in the truth. You can have that life now. Now. Right now. You understand? You cannot have to do that now.
Right.
I don't go to slaveries and go, I report here. Take your little card and clock in. No. Act like I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Me. You understand? Act like you're the boss of slave. You serve
Right.
God, don't you?
Right.
I ain't your slave master. Oh, you my slave master, but you're my slave master. No. You're here with me.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
This is mine. Oh, I'm on the grill. You're right. Yeah, that's me on the grill. I'm the one on the grill. You the one making the big bucks. You're with me.
Right.
This is mine. I walk in here, it's mine. You understand?
Come.
This is mine. Hey, grab more ice. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Did you ever think about being manager?
Right.
No, I didn't.
Right.
This is just who I am.
Right.
I ain't no slave in here. This is mine. I walk in here, this is mine. You understand? This is mine. I'm not going to walk in here. I'll put more burgers down. Yes, sir. I'll go grab the fries. This is mine. Your establishment has become my establishment.
Right.
You understand?
Come.
This is now mine. You don't have to walk in anywhere and feel like a slave. Behave like a slave, have the demeanor of the slave,
Right.
the attitude of a slave. You don't have to have any of that if you serve God.
Right.
Oh, you might get paid slave money.
Right.
I'm sorry, brother. I can't do that and you get real money. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. But I can give you your manhood back.
Right.
I give you masculinity back.
Right.
Oh, you unloading off the truck? Hey, Popeye, catch this.
Right.
If only I had more money. Shut up. Well, serve God. Be quiet. Serve God.
Right.
I don't have money. Hey, Pop. You. Catch that. Nah, you need a new pallet. Nah, I'm telling you, it's going to spill. All right, good looks. I'm not in there.
Right.
Another truck.
Right.
Don't come here. Don't come here. Don't come here. I take over every. I walk in somewhere. It's mine. It's mine. I walk in Burger King and pick your order up. I got something for Lakeisha. Yeah. Why? You sure she got a Coke too? Why? Yeah. Huh? I ain't leaving. I'm just waiting outside. I'm on the phone. All right. I'm sorry. You come in here, you serve God, you come on a commanding journey of honor. You don't even have to behave like a slave.
Right.
You don't have to behave like one. Oh, you work at Walmart, brother? No problem. When I worked at Walmart, I got all the numbers at Walmart.
That's right.
You know Tink? You know Tink? That was Walmart. Mofongo? That was Walmart.
What's that?
That's Walmart. That's what. No, this is mine.
Right.
Right. I'm not coming in here uncomfortable.
Right.
This is mine.
Right.
It's mine now.
Right.
You gonna get on the computer and do the modules and be a manager? No. But I thank you for the consideration. You don't have to behave like a slave in here.
Right.
You don't. You might work at Walmart, McDonald's. You might be a clerk somewhere, a cashier somewhere, on the back of the truck somewhere, driving the truck somewhere. It's yours.
That's right.
This is mine. I'm going to behave like this is mine. And you're not going to look at me like a nigger slave.
Right.
No, I'm the boss. That's not the boss. That's me. That's my demeanor. I may not be able to call the shots, but I call the shots. I can't legally call the shots, I guess, on paper.
That's heavy.
But if you come around me, you're going to be confused and think I call the shots. I call the shots.
If I may sense.
Good.
One day I was
got you.
talking. Listen, I was talking to someone, and my supervisor said, "Am I disturbing something?" I said, "Yes."
Yeah,
You are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
And he walked away.
Be calm. Be easy.
Yeah.
You're disturbing me.
Get that ahead.
Yeah, you're disturbing me.
So like it's, I hate to use this analogy, but when you go to prison, I'm not in here with y'all. Y'all in here with me.
Oh,
I'm not in here with y'all. I need y'all to comprehend that. And I hate to use that analogy, but that mindset, how you said you are your father's child, I understand that.
Right. You might be thrown in a precarious situation, a terrible situation.
Right.
You might not want to be in that situation.
right.
Y'all here with me.
But I'm in it. Since I'm here,
Y'all here with me.
and I'm pretty sure y'all think y'all in a precarious situation too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this precarious situation is not my situation.
Right.
Now this is mine.
Right.
I don't want to be here neither. But guess what? Now it's mine.
Right.
You know why? I'm not a slave. I know how to take whatever the hell get thrown at me and keep it trucking and stand on it. I don't get buried under it. I stand on it.
Right.
This is mine. This is mine. And God forbid the black men in this country start acting like that. The heathens have a fit. They have a goddamn fit. Do you understand?
God. God.
A damn fit out. Wherever you go is yours. Just keep that mind state. You're the slave, it's mine. You walk in Family Dollar to buy a teddy bear for your kid or your girl. Now, okay, for the 17 minutes, I'm in Family Dollar. Family Dollar is mine.
Right.
It's mine now. Now I walk inside and I go, "You busy? Come here. I need a teddy bear. I'd appreciate if you help me find a teddy bear.
Right.
I need that.
Right.
It was mine now.
Right.
Why? It's not a slave. That's why. When I walk into, I take my kinglyhood with me.
Right.
I walk in every establishment like a king and like a man. I walk in there and I take it. And that is the life you live, and that is the behavior you have under commanding general.
Right. That's right.
That's how you behave. And of course, you do it with all types of levels of politeness and being kind to people. But the point that I'm making is, do not let anybody make you feel like you're less than. Because the heathens know when you behave how I just told you to behave, how I just told you to behave, they know our time is short.
That's right.
Right.
Oh no, the true kings of the earth are realizing. Oh no. Oh no. He knows when he walks through earth, he goes, "This is mine," and he thinks it's his so much. He knows. He don't have to eat shrimp because I said it's a delicacy. He don't have to eat lobster because I said it's a delicacy. He doesn't have to eat pork because I said it's the other white meat. He don't have to sleep with whores because I said, just stick and move. He knows he can do whatever the hell he wants, which is what his father wants. He's in control of him. He follows his father. He don't follow me. Oh, that's a problem. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. The heathens know. That's what you're reading in Judith. If they're walking around like that, please don't go over there.
Right.
Do not go over there. Don't do that.
Right.
But if they're walking around with their shoulders slumped, their head down.
Facts.
Oh, go over
Trying.
there. Oh, go over. What's that, shrimp on the plate? Oh, go over there. Go take that. Go take that, please. That's for the taking. It's advertised for us. Please go take that. Don't get taken. You understand? Don't get taken. Walk everywhere and take it. Walk everywhere and take it. Don't get taken. You understand?
Con.
That's precepts.
Good.
It's the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites.
These are all, just for background, these are all Africans.
Right.
Perizzites, Hittites, Canaanites, Cushites, Jebusites, all of those. Oh, the Ammonites.
Moabites,
Okay. If they're going to name them too, then most of these people, the people you don't recognize, Africans. Ammon obviously is Japan. Moab obviously is China. But what is it? Hittite, Jebusite, Canaanite, Cushite, like Karaite or something like that. Jebusite. All of that is African.
Okay,
That's African, right? All of these you're doing just like them. All of Exodus is every law in Exodus is saying don't be African.
Okay.
So if you ought to turn around and say you're African American is disgusting, because every law in Exodus says don't be African.
Right.
That's every damn law. You came out of the land, and then the Lord said, "Remember how nasty that was? No, let me remind you: don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, because this is what they do." Every law in there is pertaining to Africa. So when you read "don't do this," that's because they do that. Don't sleep with your aunt because they do that.
Okay.
Don't look at your sister naked because they do that. That's why he says don't do that. He's saying, you see how bad that slavery was? Come on, sir. But they were doing all of these things, so you don't.
Right.
See how bad of the rulers they were? Come on, sir. Don't do these things that they were doing.
Right. Okay.
That's essentially everything in Exodus. Ezra is saying, you have all these heathens around you, and you chose not to be different. You chose to be like them, okay?
Verse 2. For they have taken to their daughters for themselves
Oh, they take
and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass.
Meaning the people who we set on top of us, those people, our Ross Barakas, Al Sharpton, Jesse James, and all of them.
Cory Booker.
The Cory Bookers. I mean, he's a councilman now, so yeah. Cory Bookers, Ben Carson's, all of these cats that you set up above us, that we set up above us,
Right.
they're the reason we go and follow heathen nations.
Right.
You see representation inside of the council, inside of a councilman, inside of the governor's office, inside of the mayor's office, and you say, success. We've done it. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Look at that little dirty boy on the corner. If you could get him to change his life, success. We've done it. That's success. Make him put crack down.
Right.
I dare you. Go try it. I dare you. I dare you. Make him put crack down. Go tell the cat that got 14 years. You gotta be a priest. I dare you. Not Cory Booker. Not Ross Baraka. Who else I say? Not Al Sharpton. Not Jesse James. Not Ben Carson's. None of them.
Not even Nick.
Condoleezza Rice. Not, AOC. None of these cats.
What's the guy name? What's
None
his name?
of these women come up. She's not black.
She's not
What's his
She's a
name?
fraud.
What's his name? Big Teeth, Wheel of Fortune.
I don't care. Steve Harvey.
C4.
Who cares? None of those people, I'm talking about offices. None of those people in the offices. None of them truly help you. We put them in office and we think we made it.
Right.
Look at that damn dope boy off the corner and didn't say you made it. That's what the Lord said he wanted. The Lord said, I want the man who's a murderer. I want him. I want the thief. I want the robber. I want the jack boy. You understand?
I understand.
That's who I want. He understands he's a soldier at least.
Right.
Steve Harvey on TV is cheesing. Cheesing. I mean, he might have been shooting his own people, but he shot somebody. At least he shot somebody.
Right.
What the hell are you doing? He knows it's warfare. He just had the wrong war.
Right.
Go give him the right war.
Right.
Give him the right war. Go tell him what he should fight. Steve Harvey don't even want to fight. He's not even showing you fight. He ain't showing you no type of fight. Ben Carson not showing you no fight. You understand? Those sisters, Condoleezza Rice and AOC, they're not showing you nothing of a sister that you want. Nothing. 30-something years old in politics. You have a baby. What the hell are you doing? Have a child. Have a damn child. You're 30-something years old in politics. You're useless.
Dang. That's a lot.
I don't need you to sign the paper.
Right.
Right.
What does that do? Nothing. Nothing. I don't need AOC signing papers. Go pop somebody baby out. Go do that. You Puerto Rican. Who be the reason Puerto Rico gets raised up?
Right.
Go pop out soldiers so in 20 years Puerto Rico is in excellent hands.
Right.
You doing none of that. You're useless. You understand?
Come.
You're useless. Further questions?
One question.
This question one. This question one.
Yeah. We have. Oh, I thought it was something.
Comments. Tell them comments. Type in the chat. Questions?
Lies.
Israelite, Mariam.